So I've known Jim White for about 8 years now, and one thing that can be said for Jim is he has a very great sense of generosity. Time I played in Jim's band, he always made sure that I had nice clothes, a place to live, and did his best to ensure that I had some sort of transportation. I lived in Steve Horner's house down there on East Jackson Street, right across the street from the Count. And I got a call from Mr. Jim White one day, something along the lines of, "Hey Chris, what you doing?" I said, "Well, Jim, I'm just sitting here around the house. What are you up to?" He says, "Well, Chris, I tell you what, I know you need a good car." And in Jim's mind, a good car is the most important thing a man could ever own. A real good car means a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation, and the fact that you actually are going somewhere. What had happened was that I had a 1988 Ford Bronco 2, and it had been sitting in the driveway in Florida neglect, hoses rotting out, this, that, and the other. The call from Jim was definitely needed when he called me up, and he said, "All right, Chris, well, here's the story. Now, I got this really nice Oldsmobile Delta 88 I got. This is real cool looking. He says, it's got big old truck transmission, it's got big old truck tires on it." I said, "Well, Jim, that sounds real cool." He says, "Yeah, I ain't talked to Jimmy Tuck about it yet, but, it's a good car, and I think it's in good working condition." I said, "Jim, well, awesome, that sounds great." And he says, "Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, I know your Bronco's not running, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the car." And I said, "Really, Jim?" And he says, yeah, you'll love it, It's a real nice paint job on it. Had a paint job made Earl Scheib look like Vincent van Gogh. Rusted out, metallic blue, really, really suspicious looking car." And he said to me, "So here's the story, Chris. I just want you to know, I want you to have this car. It's a real good car. I think it'll help you, with the girls and stuff around town." And at this point, I didn't need the car. Because I lived just around the corner from Krispy Kreme Donuts, and 2 blocks away from the Azalea Bar where I would pick up on the local lesbian girls. As a hot-blooded 21-year-old, I was doing pretty good. So Jim lays into me and he says, "I just want you to have this car." I said, "Well, that sounds great, Jim. I love, I'd love to, maybe it drives better than my Bronco." He says, "All right. Well, here's the story, Chris. Now, I'm giving you the car." I said, "I get you, Jim. I get you." He said, "I want you to know, I want you to have the car." I said, "I get it, He says, "Well, there's one thing about it. Maybe 2-3 years down the line, you give me $400 or $500. I think that'd probably work out just fine." I thought to myself, I said, "Well, guess there's no real way out of this one." And so I said, "Okay, Jim, I'll take the car." And he said, "All right, fall on by the house around 3:30. So I go over to Jim's house around 3:30 in the afternoon, over there in Pensacola, Florida. And Jim's not home. And these are the days before Jim's into wireless technology. So I kind of wait around a little while, looking around, hoping maybe he'll turn up. No word from him for about 30 minutes. I head on home. And I'm sitting at home, and I try calling him at the house, and he doesn't call me back. So I figure I hadn't gotten back home yet. Finally, around 7:30 at night, I get a call from Jim. And he says, "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, Jim, what's going on? I was just stopped by the house to pick up the car." He says to me, "Oh, you mean the Delta 88? I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Oh, see, my shade tree mechanic Jimmy Tuck?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I sold it. $100. He wanted them big old truck tires."